I hope that I was pretty effective in communicating the purpose. You know, we kept going back to this is about confidence intervals, significance testing, and you know, I always bring it back to the AP test because unfortunately, no matter what kind of real world context I can pull in, the end goal is that in next week they're going to be paying $92 for this test and they're going to need to do well on it. So that is always getting pushed hard on them. Honestly, probably the best part for me is that I'm happy that I can just change on the spot with them. So the lesson called for one type of Hershey's Kiss. You know, that's going to take them just so far in doing confidence intervals. But having two different types and they're just going to run with it, like let's just all do it together, let's figure it out, and being able to compare and contrast two different media is always helpful. It's another way to increase the rigor for them. And being able to think on my feet for that, as well as have them go with the flow on that, is helpful for both of us.
Do you think that the students working in groups supported their reaching their goal?
Yes, definitely. As you could probably see, some students have some attention issues. You know, they have technology that I'm always competing with, but there's always at least one person who wants to get this done as fast as possible, and they need to get somewhere else. So, and they want to achieve their goals. So, working in groups, working with peer groups that they like to work with, they're going to be more motivated than just by themselves. Organization, I believe, in the sense of knowing your material and knowing what you want to accomplish in the end is very important. Knowing that I want them to be able to look at confidence intervals and understand how that compares and contrasts, be able to see an experimental study and then being able to jump off from that and making their own is important. However, my organization is not as strong but different when it comes to how I execute the lesson. Because once I hear a student talking about one thing and I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea, good job, let's just run with it. And just knowing that I want to get to that end goal, but running with whatever the students are interested at the time that will foster their learning is fine with me. I'm honest that I'm not as strong with classroom management, but at the same time, these are students who are all very self-motivated and they will get it done if they need to get it done on a time that they need to get it done. Yes, I fight with technology as many teachers do, but everyone got their work done. And it wasn't that those who were distracted or were talking about different things hindered the learning of anyone else. So as long as students get their work done, show that they are thinking, learning, and achieving, I don't have a problem with it. Student engagement is a touch and go kind of thing because students can be engaged at one time and just lose interest or be distracted. A text message comes in, you know, things happen. And, you know, I heard some unengaged conversations. However, I was able to bring them back. So being able to bring them back is beneficial in and of itself. I think that engagement is important to an extent, but not every student can be engaged for 40 to 50 minutes at one time. They're high schoolers and they live in a very tech and quick environment, so engagement in 10-minute spurts is great for me.
Do you think doing the hands-on activity and group encourages engagement?
Yes, definitely hands-on and group work does help engagement because they're constantly having to touch something and do something and be aware of their surroundings, so that helps. I tend to get feedback from my students. I thought it was funny once, at one point, a student pointed out, like, oh, that giving them the homework assignment of creating their own study, that's a good teaching strategy, you know. They're telling me that they, although it's hard and it's difficult and they're going to have a hard time doing it tonight, they know that it's helpful to them. So that kind of things help me figure out where to go and what I'm doing. I was thinking about that earlier, how to develop the lesson more. I like it how it is. I think that if I had the space and the coordination on my worksheet to set up for 2 different studies at the same time would have helped the organization of it. But the students students seem to flow with it pretty well. I would like to see a little bit more analysis of that multiple choice question at the end and the wording, but yeah, we'll work on it.